हजुर नमस्ते। मेरो नाम भुवन प्याकुरेल र सधैँझैँ आज पनि हजुरमाझ म एउटा विशेष जानकारीमूलक शीर्षक लिएर छलफल गर्न आएको छु र सबैजनालाई म फेरि सधैँझैँ सहयोग माग्दैछु। जो हेर्नुहुने इष्टमित्र हुनुहुन्छ, हेर्नुहुने इष्टमित्र साथीभाइ, दाजुभाइ, दिदीबहिनी को हुनुहुन्छ, सबैजनालाई मेरो आग्रह, यो भिडियो हेर्दै गर्दा तपाईँले फेसबुकमा हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने फलो गर्न नभुलिदिनु होला, कृपया फलो गर्नुहोला। दोस्रो कुरा, तपाईँले युट्युबमा गएर हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। युट्युबमा हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने युट्युबमा गएर लाइक, सेयर अनि त्यस पछाडि सब्सक्राइब गर्न पनि नभुलिदिनु होला। र जसले इन्स्टाग्राममा फलो गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ, म इन्स्टाग्राममा एकछिन पछाडि हजुरहरूलाई पनि इन्स्टाग्राममा पनि जोड्छु र त्यहाँबाट पनि फलो गरेर यसलाई अगाडि बढाइदिनु होला। र यति भन्दै आजको हाम्रो शीर्षक भनेको, हामी दुईटा शीर्षकमा गफ गर्नेछौँ। हामीसँग दुईजना एटर्नीहरू हुनुहुन्छ लिगल एड सोसाइटी अफ कोलम्बसबाट, र म सधैँ दुईटै भाषामा सकेसम्म उल्था गरेर अगाडि कुरा गर्नेछु। र तपाईँलाई बिचमा केही प्रश्न आइगएको खण्डमा पनि तपाईँले प्रश्न राख्न नभुलिदिनु होला। र यति भन्दै म हाम्रा आजका पाहुनाहरूलाई म अगाडि निम्त्याउँछु र उहाँ हुनुहुन्छ मरिन्डा भनेर हुनुहुन्छ अनि त्यहाँदेखि जस दुईजना हुनुहुन्छ। सबै नमस्ते टु एभ्रीवन, नमस्ते बोथ अफ यु।
Namaste.
So how we're going to do today is I will be speaking in English with you, but at the same time I'll be interpreting whatever you are telling that into Nepali. So I have some questions prepared for both of you, and I will be going that way. So please do answer in short as much as possible so that I can interpret into Nepali. I have a pen and paper ready so that I can write when you are talking. So Jas, can you just introduce yourself, who you are, what you do? Then I'll follow up with the Marinda.
Sure. I'm Josh Goodwin. I'm the managing attorney of the public benefits team at Legal Aid of Southeast and Central Ohio.
धन्यवाद। उहाँ चाहिँ लिगल सोसाइटीमा पब्लिक बेनिफिटलाई म्यानेज गर्ने एटर्नी हुनुहुन्छ, लिगल सोसाइटी अफ कोलम्बस एन्ड साउथ ईस्ट ओहायो भनेर उहाँको हुनुहुन्छ। Miranda, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yes, my name is Miranda Anandapa. I'm a senior attorney with Legal Aid of Southeastern Central Ohio, and I do senior focused work for the program.
धन्यवाद। उहाँको नाम मरान्डा हो अनि त्यहाँदेखि उहाँ चाहिँ लिगल सोसाइटीमा काम गर्नुहुन्छ। उहाँले चाहिँ विशेष गरेर वयस्क अलिकति वृद्धहरूका लागि पर्ने आवश्यक त्यस्ता खालका काममा लिगल सोसाइटी अफ कोलम्बसमा काम गर्नुहुन्छ। धन्यवाद। Thank you. So next, what we'll do is, Josh, I will be focusing with your question first because there are so many questions I hear about the benefit in the community. So I wanted to talk to you. I have some questions prepared, and I also I'll be asking the audience if they have some questions. They will be asking that as we go forward. So then I'll come back to Miranda after Miranda once I'm done with the Josh. So I think it will be short for there. So Josh, our first question is, does many time whenever I'm talking to the community member, one of the issues that they're asking me is, do I get interpreter when I call this number? And how does that work? Can you just briefly explain to our audience?
Sure. So if you call Legal Aid, we do have interpreters available that we can get on the phone when you call us. You just need to let us know that you need a Nepali interpreter, and we will put you on hold while we get an interpreter who speaks Nepali on the phone. That way you can fully understand everything that we're talking about as we're talking when working with you. And this is from the moment you call in, every time you talk with an attorney.
So thank you. उहाँले भन्नुहुँदैछ जस्तो तपाईँले कुनै पनि लिगल एडको केही काम गर्नु पर्यो भनेदेखि गाह्रो परेको खण्डमा तपाईँले मलाई इन्टरप्रेटर चाहियो भनिसकेपछि उहाँहरूले इन्टरप्रेटर बोलाउनुहुन्छ र इन्टरप्रेटरको व्यवस्था त्यहाँ सधैँ हुने गर्छ। So the follow-up question is on that one, on the interpreter things. So like, do they have to pay for that one, the interpreter?
No, not at all. We provide that free of charge. So that's not something you need to pay for anytime you use our services. And in fact, when you're using services through Job and Family Services, you shouldn't be paying for an interpreter there either.
धन्यवाद। थ्याङ्क यू जस। सो एउटा कुरा जो तपाईँहरू सबैजनाले मलाई सोधिरहनुहुन्छ, म भाषा बोल्दिनँ, मलाई भाषा कठिनाइ हुन्छ, म लिगल एडमा फोन गर्दा भन्नुहुन्छ त्यहाँ इन्टरप्रेटर चाहिन्छ पाइँदैन भन्नुहुन्छ। सधैँका लागि इन्टरप्रेटर पनि पाइन्छ। तपाईँले फोन गरेर मलाई नेपाली इन्टरप्रेटर चाहियो भन्नु पर्यो र फोन गर्ने नम्बर कुन हो भन्नुहुन्छ अनि यहाँ फोन नगर्ने नम्बर पनि यहाँनेरि छ इन्टेक लाइनमा र साथसाथै तपाईलाई त्यो फोन गर्दा इन्टरप्रेटर मागे बापत खर्च अथवा तपाईले कुनै पनि पैसा तिर्नु पर्दैन त्यो कुरा चाहिँ बुझ्नु पर्यो Thank you, Josh. That was a question I get quite a lot from the community member, pretty much all the time whenever I'm speaking. So thank you, you guys. Like from Legal Aid, I think we have been working for a year and a half now, regularly coming and helping the community member. So now the next question that I get quite often from the community member is, how do I apply for a SNAP and Medicaid? Is there any specific way that we need to apply? Can you tell us on that one?
Sure. There's a few different ways you can apply. You can apply online. If you would open up a self-service portal through the Department of Job and Family Services. You can also apply at their offices, or you can fill out a paper application and submit it to the Department of Job and Family Services.
यो कुरा पनि मलाई धेरैजना सोध्नुहुन्छ मैले उहाँलाई सोधिरहेको थिएँ कसरी एप्लाई गर्ने फुड स्ट्याम्प्स अथवा मेडिकेडको भन्दा उहाँले भन्नुहुन्छ अनलाइन पोर्टलमा गर्ने अथवा पेपर एप्लिकेसन गर्ने जब एन्ड फ्यामिली सर्भिसमा गएर गर्ने भन्ने कुरा हो र यस्ता कुरा सोधिरहेको हुँदा मैले हजुरहरूको क्वेसनलाई यहाँ राख्दैछु कृपया तपाईका प्रश्न राख्दिनु होला है त कसले हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ शेयर गर्न नभुल्दिनु होला So now the question that I get quite often, do I get a benefit, public benefit, if I am not a US citizen?
You can get, you can get SNAP, the food stamps and Medicaid, even if you're not a U.S. citizen. So you need to be in what's called a satisfactory or qualified immigration status, but that includes legal permanent residents, folks who have been granted asylum, refugees, and there's a whole host of other categories of immigrants who are eligible. So just because you're not a U.S. citizen doesn't mean you might not qualify for healthcare, Medicaid and SNAP.
यो प्रश्न नि मलाई धेरैजनाले सोधिरहनुहुन्छ तपाईहरुले मलाई सोध्नुहुन्छ कतिजना म युएस सिटिजन होइन भने म पब्लिक बेनिफिट पाउँछु कि पाउँदिन भन्ने कुरा सोधेकोमा त्यसको प्रश्नको उत्तर उहाँले गर्नुहुँदैछ तपाईले पाउनुहुन्छ युएस सिटिजन नभए तापनि पाउनुहुन्छ तर त्यहाँ कतिवटा शर्तहरु हुन्छन् तपाई सटिस्फ्याक्टरी भनेर युएस मा आएको कस्तो खालको एउटा बेनिफिट तपाईको स्ट्याटस हुन्छ स्ट्याटसको आधारमा हुन्छ सिटिजन होइन भन्नेमा बेनिफिट नपाउने भन्ने चाहिँ हुँदैन कतिवटा आधारहरु कतिवटा विकल्प मतलब अप्सन्सहरु त्यहाँ हुन्छन् भन्ने उहाँले जवाफ दिनुभयो सो on the same line, is this same true for benefit also? Can I get SSI if I'm not a citizen?
So it's a lot harder to get SSI if you're not a U.S. citizen, because if you are a legal permanent resident, you can, but you need to have had 40 work quarters tied to your account. And so there are a lot of additional hurdles to become eligible for SSI. It's possible, but it's a lot easier to get SNAP and Medicaid if you're not a U.S. citizen.
अर्को प्रश्न उहाँलाई मैले सोधेको थिएँ एसएसआई पाउँदैन त मैले युएस सिटिजन होइन भने भन्दा उहाँले भन्नुहुँदैछ एसएसआई पाउनको लागि बहुत गाह्रो पर्छ पाउँदैन भन्ने चाहिँ होइन तर बहुत गाह्रो पर्छ जस्तो फुड स्ट्याम्प र मेडिकेड जस्तो सजिलो हुँदैन बहुत गाह्रो पर्छ तर पाउन चाहिँ पाउँछ लिगली पाउने व्यवस्था चाहिँ छ तर धेरै गाह्रो पर्छ किन 40 वर्क क्वार्टर भनेको 40 क्रेडिट काम गरेको पुगेको हुनुपर्छ भन्ने गर्नुहुन्छ So now thank you. But that was one of the biggest questions that I get quite a lot from many immigrants who are not citizen. Will I get if I have a 40 work quarter? So that means yes, but there's a different way of applying for it. Is that something right?
So if you have 40 work quarters, you're going to be eligible for SSI. For some programs, even with Medicaid, you may need some work quarters, or there's a 5-year waiting period for some of these programs. But there are a lot of paths to get there with SNAP and Medicaid, and I would encourage folks to apply. And if your application is denied, give us a call. Let us look through it and see if there's one of those paths is open to you.
40 क्वार्टर पुगेको छ र सिटिजन हुनु भएको छैन भने पाउन चाहिँ पाइन्छ धेरै अप्ठ्यारो हुन्छ सजिलो चाहिँ छैन तर जो तपाईँ त्यस्तो हुनुहुन्छ भने एप्लाई गर्नु होला एप्लाई गर्न तपाईँलाई डिनाई भएको खण्डमा लिगल एडमा कल गर्नु होला र त्यहाँबाट उहाँहरूले कुरो बुझेर अगाडि बढाउनुहुन्छ भन्ने कुरा गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ So thank you, Josh. That was another thing. And now I think this could be a somewhere one of the biggest questions that I'm hearing. What do I do if my application, the benefit is denied? Yeah, there are many. Can you also explain what are the reasons for denial and what the people need to do?
So the very first thing you want to make sure you do is not give up. I hear a lot of folks, they get a notice that their benefits have been denied, and they're like, I guess I'm just not eligible. There's lots of reasons your application may have been denied that have nothing to do with whether you're actually eligible. And
Okay,
so,
thank you. Let me tell this part. So मैले उहाँलाई सोधिरहेको थिएँ तपाईँको फुड स्ट्याम्प्स अथवा मेडिकेयर कुनै पनि बेनिफिट सरकारले दिन्न भन्यो भने के गर्ने त भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ मैले सोधिरहेको थिएँ अथवा डिनाइड तँलाई दिन्न भने चिठी आयो भने के गर्ने भन्दाखेरि धेरैजना मान्छेहरू चाहिँ अब 2 खेप एप्लाई गरेपछि वाक्क भयो मलाई नदिने रहेछ भने वाक्कबाट छोड्नुहुन्छ अरे कहिले पनि म यो नहुने रहेछ वाक्क भनेर नछोड्नु होला भन्ने उहाँको पहिलो सल्लाह छ किनभने धेरैवटा कारण हुन्छन् जुन चाहिँ छोडिनु पछाडिको Okay, go ahead.
So some of the reasons that we see a lot of folks are denied right now are an inability to complete a interview with Job and Family Services because they just can't get through on the phone to complete their SNAP interview. We know a lot of people are denied for that reason.
एउटा कुरा हुन्छ किन डिनाइ गर्छ भन्दा पहिलो कुरा चाहिँ धेरैजना जस्तो मान्छेले चाहिँ फोन इन्टरभ्यु गर्न नसकेको कारणले गर्दा हुन्छ Okay.
Another big reason that people are denied is they have tried to turn in the documents that Job and Family Services has asked for, and for whatever reason, they just didn't get to the right people at Job and Family Services, and so they think that you didn't turn in your bank statement or your pay stubs, and as a result, they just deny your application, even though you may have turned the things in and they're just sitting in the wrong spot.
धन्यवाद थ्याङ्क यू अर्को कुरा चाहिँ किन हुन्छ भने जस्तै कागजपत्र जब एन्ड फ्यामिली सर्भिसले हामीलाई पठा भनेको हुन्छ हामीले पठाएको हुन्छ तर दुर्भाग्यवश कुनै कारणले सही मान्छेको नपुगेको हुन्छ जस्तो ब्याङ्कको स्टेटमेन्ट भयो पे स्टब भयो इत्यादि कुरा र पनि तपाईलाई फेरि मेडिकेयर अथवा कुनै बेनिफिट डिनाइ भइरहेको अवस्था पनि हुन्छ Okay.
And so if your application is denied, you have 90 days within which to request a state hearing. And there'll be instructions on that denial notice on how to do that. But I would strongly encourage you to reach out to us because we are often able to work with you and get your information of Job and Family Services. Sometimes within a week, we can get it resolved without having to even go through that state hearing process.
यहाँ ध्यान दिएर सुन्नु होला तपाईलाई कुनै पनि डिनाइ भएर आइसकेको खण्डमा चाहिँ तपाईको 90 दिनसम्म हुन्छ त्यहाँनेरि मिति हुन्छ त तपाईले फेरि एप्लाई गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यस्तो भएको खण्डमा 90 दिन भित्रमा तपाईले हियरिङ गर्न जानु होला तपाईलाई हामी सशक्त जानु भनेर सुझाव गर्न चाहन्छौं र स्टेट हियरिङको जाने प्रक्रिया पनि लेखिदिएको हुन्छ र त्यस्तो भएको खण्डमा तपाईले हाम्रो अफिसमा सम्पर्क गर्नुभयो भने तपाईलाई हामी पनि सहायता गर्न सक्छौं कोही बेला एक हप्ता भित्रमै तपाईको बेनिफिटहरु पनि फेरि दिन सक्छ Okay.
So again, the most important thing is don't give up because if you reapply, then it's going to start everything, the process all over. Let's do a state hearing. Let's see if we can get a hold of Job and Family Services and get it resolved and get you your benefits.
तो सुरुदेखि थाल्नु भन्दा त्यो हियरिङमा लागि गएर फेरि त्यहाँबाट जब फ्यामिलीसँग कुराकानी गरेर त्यसलाई त्यहाँ समस्या समाधान गर्ने पटिको कुरा गरेको चाहिँ असल हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा गर्दै हुन्छ All right, thank you. So the best thing for this one is if it's denied, go for hearing, and if people need help, they can reach out to Legal Aid Society, 614-241-2001. Is that right?
That's right. I would request that state hearing. Call us. Let us help you out.
All right. अब तपाईको कसै यसरी काटिएको छ भनेदेखि तपाईले त्यो स्टेट हियरिङको लागि त्यो कागजमा लेखिएको हुन्छ त्यहाँ स्टेट हियरिङको लागि रिक्वेस्ट गर्नु होला त्यसपछि उहाँहरुलाई कल गर्नु होला अनि कल गरेर अपॉइन्टमेन्ट बनाएर उहाँहरुले तपाईलाई सहयोग गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ All right. Thank you, Josh. So now I have a last question for you. Then we'll go for the will. The last question, and also I have some question on the Facebook as well. So last question is, what do I do if I try to call Job and Family Services for my interview, but I could not reach anyone on the phone? That happens all the time.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing, is that that's a frequent problem. We recommend folks try calling as soon as you can at 8 o'clock in the morning. But if you've called in and you can't get through and you're past your interview date and time, give us a call. We are trying to help folks. We reach out to Job and Family Services. We let them know that you're trying to call, and oftentimes they'll give you a call directly back to try to get it resolved.
Thank you. तपाईले यो धेरैजनाले मलाई भनिरहनुहुन्छ, ककलले मलाई बार बार भनिरहनु भएको हुन्छ, म तपाईलाई फेरि दोहोऱ्याउँछु, तपाईले कल गर्न लागि उले भनेको हुन्छ, कल गर्नुहुन्छ, कल गरिसकेपछि पटक्कै फोन उठ्दैन, नउठ्दैदेखि त्यतिकै काटिन्छ, दिन पनि त बितिसकेको त्यस्तो खण्डमा चाहिँ तपाईले कल गर्नु होला लिगल एड सोसाइटीमा। त्यो नम्बर हो 614-241-2001 मा कल गर्नु होला र उहाँहरुलाई जानकारी गरेर तपाईलाई लिगल एड सोसाइटीले सहायता गर्न सक्छ। All right, thank you, Josh. I have 2 questions for you from on my Facebook. How much income for Medicaid for 4 people? So I think the question is, what is the income for to get approved for a Medicaid for family of 4?
So for the adults, it's 138% of the federal poverty level, which right now is about $43,000 a month, and that's $43,000 a year. That's before taxes. So on a monthly basis, that's $3,500 a month. For the kids in the household, the income limit there is $5,200 a month before taxes.
Okay, for family of 4, right?
Yep, that's for a family of 4. So the key numbers are adults are 138% of the federal poverty level. Kids are 200% of the federal poverty level.
All right, thank you. So यो कुरा बुझ्नु होला है त, 4 जनाको परिवार छ भने वयस्क जो 18 वर्षभन्दा माथिका मान्छेले मेडिकेड पाउनका लागि सालिन्दा कमाई $43,000 को हुनुपर्छ अथवा 3500 महिनाको हुनुपर्छ। त्यहाँभन्दा मुनि अथवा त्यहाँभन्दा माथि छ भने पाउनुहुन्न। र त्यही घरमा तपाईको कमाई चाहिँ सालिन्दा 52000 छ भने नानीहरु 52000 सम्म छ भने चाहिँ नानीहरुले चाहिँ पाउन सक्छन्, तर वयस्क 18 वर्ष भन्दा माथिकाले चाहिँ पाउँदैनन्। All right. I think that's all I have for you, Josh. And I think we have one more question here. What do we do if we don't receive the interview on time and get on time and get a later in a later date missed interview?
Yeah, that's frustrating. We know that sometimes these letters don't arrive until after your scheduled interview, which is obviously no good. Go ahead and try to call in to Job and Family Services as soon as you can, but also give us a call and we'll see if we can't get it, help you out.
All right, thank you. त्यो खण्डमा त्यस्तो भएको खण्डमा चाहिँ मैले उहाँले सोध्नु भएको प्रश्न थियो, हामीले इन्टरभ्यु त डेटमा आइनस् भन्छ, भरे फेरि इन्टरभ्यु गर्दा त फोनमा उठाउँदैन, अन्तिममा फेरि इन्टरभ्युमा आएन भनेर फेरि फोन ढिलो भयो भन्दै भने के गर्ने भन्ने प्रश्न थियो। त्यो अर्थमा तपाईले ट्राई गर्नु होला, ट्राई गर्दा फेरि भएन भने हामीलाई कल गर्नु होला, हामी तपाईलाई सहयोग गर्न कोसिस गर्छौं भन्नुभयो। All right, that's all the questions just for right now. So what I would like to say is, like, I'll be talking to Miranda right now, and once she's done, I might get some questions. If you can stay, or if towards the end, is that okay for you?
Yeah.
So that means okay. So thank you, Josh. I think I'll get some questions. The benefit, we can have so many questions whenever I go out in the community. So we'll talk about the will, and we'll come back to you again. Thank you, Miranda. Now, thank you for your patience. You are staying out for right now.
Of course.
So this is the question that I get on and off from folks. I have one question to you in a Facebook, but we'll come back to that afterwards. र सबैजना जो इष्टमित्र हुनुहुन्छ तपाईहरुलाई म फेरि पनि भन्छु, तपाईहरुले कृपया यो शेयर गर्दिनु होला, लाइक गर्दिनु होला, र तपाईको केही प्रश्न भए लेख्दिनु होला, र तपाईको प्रश्नको जवाब म सकेसम्म दिन कोसिस गर्नेछु। यो मैले यो टपिकको डिस्कस गर्न खोजेको भने धेरै जना गाउँ घरमा धेरै जना इष्टमित्रहरुलाई यो गाह्रो परेको देखेर अनि गरेको हो, र कृपया तपाईको प्रश्न राखिदिनु होला। All right. So now our first question is, let me ask you a question. Let me tell you the background, then I'll ask a question. In the Bhutanese community, like when you talk about the Bhutanese community, we came to this country in general from 2008 onwards. Prior to that, a majority of us were in refugee camp after forced out from our country by the king of Bhutan. So we were a refugee, and after that we came to the United States. So back in Bhutan or in the refugee camp, we didn't have a concept of will. And when the family, father or mother or some owner of a property dies, the property used to definitely go towards their son or daughter, whatever is that. Nothing as such, a legal battle or whatever it may be. So here is very, very different, right? So can you tell me, so what is the process, or let me direct question, what is a will on that context, so that I'll be making people understand. But in the meantime, let me interpret that question into English, Nepali, so that people understand what I'm talking about. त मैले उहाँलाई सोधिरहेको थिएँ, हामी भुटानबाट भुटानको राजाले हामीलाई खेदाइसके पछाडि हामी क्याम्पमा आएर बस्यौँ, 18-20 वर्ष बस्यौँ। त्यस पछाडि हामी अमेरिका आयौँ, लगभग 2009 को हाराहारीदेखि हामी आउन थाल्यौँ। र यहाँ आइसकिसके पछाडि र भुटानमा हुँदा या क्याम्पमा हुँदा भनेको सम्पत्तिमा कोही घरको बुवा आमाको मृत्यु भइसके पछाडि त्यो सम्पत्ति छोराछोरीमा जान्थ्यो, त्यो ठुलो समस्या नभइकन त्यस्तो खालको हुन्थ्यो। तर यहाँ आइसकेपछि त्यो व्यवस्था अर्कै छ। अब यो व्यवस्थामा जुझ्नका लागि के गर्ने, अथवा त्यो विल भनेको के हो, यसको जवाब दिनुहोस् न भनेर मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको थिएँ। So now you can you tell that?
Sure, yes. So a will is a legal document that states how you would like your property to be distributed upon your death. And it also states whom you choose as your executor, which is the person whom you trust to carry out what's in your will.
थ्याङ्क यू। अब विल भनेको चाहिँ के हो भन्दा चाहिँ विल भनेको एउटा कानुनी दस्तावेज हो, कानुनी कागज हो, जसले चाहिँ आफ्नो मृत्यु पछाडि तपाईँको सम्पत्ति कसलाई बाँडिन्छ भनेर कुरा बताइन्छ, त्यो कागजमा बताइन्छ। अनि त्यसमा कार्यकारी त्यो कागजले चाहिँ मेरो सम्पत्ति मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि फलानाकामा जान्छ भनेर कार्यकारी पनि तोक्छ, अथवा त्यो प्रपर्टी कसकोमा जाने हो भनेर जानकारी पनि गराउँछ। थ्याङ्क यू। So the next question, again, I think this is true for many people. We always think that this is not going to happen to me. This might happen to my neighbor. This might happen to my distant relative, but this may not even happen to my relative also, right? So that is, I think many of us think that way. So on that ground, do I need a will? Let me go back to Nepali, then come back.
Yeah, of course.
हामीले सधैँ भन्ने गर्छौँ होला यो समस्या मलाई चाहिँ पर्दैन, पल्लो घरकालाई पर्ला, छिमेकीलाई पर्ला, अथवा अलिक आफन्तलाई पनि नपर्ला, अलिक परपरको आफन्तलाई मात्रै पर्छ होला भन्ने कुरा हाम्रो टाउकोमा आउँछ क्यारे सधैँभरि। र मैले उहाँलाई सोध्दैछु के त्यो विल मलाई चाहिन्छ भनेर सोध्दैछु। Right, do I need a will? Miranda, can you tell us?
So we encourage people to have a will, so your loved ones know what your wishes are upon your death. And so you're able to choose a specific person who you trust to carry out what is written in your will.
हामीले यो कुरा भन्ने गर्छौँ सबैजनाको विल होस्, जहाँ कि तपाईको सम्पत्ति कसकामा जाने आफ्नो मृत्यु पछाडि भन्ने खालको स्पेसिफिक तरिकाले लेखेको होस्, त्यो सधैँभरि विल भएको राम्रो भनेर हामी भन्ने गर्छौँ। Okay? So can you tell a little bit more on that one? Mm-hmm. What makes it easier? Who will be beneficial? What's my question? How is make easier life for the beneficiaries?
So, well, first off, they are not left wondering what it is that you want for your property. They know exactly, what you want to do with your property, who you would like to give it to. They know exactly what you want, which could, prevent a lot of stress and heartache in the future. And wills are especially helpful if you want to give personal belongings like furniture, jewelry, things that are of value to you that you want to give to specific people. This helps you do that or make sure that is done.
विलले चाहिँ के गर्छ, कसरी चाहिँ जिन्दगी सजिलो बनाउँछ भन्ने कुरा मैले सोधेको थिएँ उहाँलाई। त्यो चाहिँ विलले चाहिँ के हो भने आफ्नो मृत्यु पछाडि त्यो सम्पत्ति कसकोमा जाने कसरी चाहिँ जाने भन्ने कुराले गर्दाखेरि बहुत धेरै मान्छेलाई पर्ने समस्याबाट बचाउन सक्छ जस्तो कि तपाईँको गाडी तपाईँको ज्वेलरी भनेको कानमा लाउने मुद्रा इत्यादि कुराहरूको चाहिँ फलानासँग जान्छ म मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि भनेर स्पष्ट लेखिएको भइसकेपछि उनीहरूलाई कुनै पनि कानुनी झमालामा पर्नु पर्दैन भन्ने कुरा बनाउन सक्छ सो Thank you. That was, I think, very clear. तपाईको केही प्रश्न छ भने सोध्नु होला म अहिले फेरि यहाँ हेर्दैछु तपाईको केही प्रश्न भए okay, what is the process of getting will? Who help us to make the will? Is it confidential? So that is the question. I think we're coming back to that question afterwards, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I saw that question on Facebook. Great, Yadav bhai. Thank you so much. But we'll come back to this question afterwards. So now, which is again another thing that I'll come back to Nepal and come back to English now. अर्को जो हाम्रो गाउँघरमा परिराखेको कुरा उहाँ हुँदा जस्तो भुटानमा हुँदा अथवा शरणार्थी शिविरमा हुँदा हामीलाई पर्दै नपर्ने कुरा यहाँ आएपछि पर्छ हुन त भुटानमा पनि मान्छेहरूको मृत्यु हुन्थ्यो शिविरमा पनि मृत्यु त हुन्थ्यो तर उहाँ हुँदा यो कुरा थाहा थिएन यहाँ आएपछि थाहा भयो हामीलाई मृत्यु पछाडि त्यो दाह संस्कार गर्न जाने ठाउँमा हामीले त्यो दाह संस्कार होस् या दफन गर्ने होस् त्यो काम गर्नुपर्छ कि पर्दैन त्यो विलमा राख्नुपर्छ कि पर्दैन भन्ने प्रश्न अर्को रहन्छ म उहाँलाई सोध्दैछु Now the other question is very difficult question. Should my funeral and burial arrangements be included in my will?
Yes, this is a great question. So it's better to pre-plan your funeral and burial arrangements by speaking directly to the funeral home that you're choosing to make arrangements for. And that way you can make sure that you have the arrangement you want and your loved ones don't have to worry about making those decisions too after you pass away.
उहाँले भन्नुहुन्छ हुनुपर्छ आफ्नो मृत्यु पछाडि मेरो शरीरलाई म दफन गर्ने हो कि दाह संस्कार गर्ने हो कि के गर्ने हो भने त्यो कुरा पनि स्पष्ट लेखिदिनु भएको छ भने जो आफ्ना प्यारा भाइ बहिनी छोराछोरी जो हुन्छन् उनीहरूलाई यस कुरामा झेलिरहनु पर्दैन त्यसको कुरा समस्याको समाधान सजिलोसँग हुन सक्छ भन्नुहुन्छ it also gives upward अनि त्यस alright thank you I was just going to tell a bit more, but that's really fine. So also there is a way for prepaying these things, right?
Yes. So it also allows you to prepay for your arrangements if you want to do that. Some funeral homes can give you an itemized list of your chosen arrangements and the total cost and allow you to lock in, so to speak, this price.
अर्को कुरा पनि ख्याल गरौँ हो नि त हामी कसैलाई म चाहिँ मर्छु भने त कसैलाई पनि आउँदैन अर्कै मर्छ भन्ने हुन्छ सबैजनालाई हैन त्यसो हुँदाखेरि हामीले पनि जो अहिले बाँचिरहेका छौँ हामीले पनि कुनै फ्युनरल होममा गएर चाहिँ मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि मेरो दाह संस्कार यही होस् र मेरो दाह संस्कार गर्नका लागि म अहिले पैसा तिर्छु भन्ने पनि व्यवस्था हुन्छ त्यो पनि गर्न सकिन्छ र त्यसमा अहिले पनि आफ्नो मरिसके पछाडि यो शरीरलाई जलाउन अथवा दफन गर्नका लागि के गर्ने भन्ने व्यवस्था गर्ने पनि ठाउँ छ भन्ने कुरा गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ so now thank you that's a clarification तपाई कसैको प्रश्न छ भने सोधिदिनु होला now I have a couple of questions from in the Facebook let me bring those questions up to you let it come here what we need deed or will what is the difference
Sure. So yes, this is a great question. So there are some types of property that aren't passed through the will. Property that has a title, so your name is on it, you signed a contract for it. That type of property should be planned for outside of the will.
And this is quite complicated for me to interpret, but म कोसिस गर्छु म उल्था गर्न चाहिँ मैले जानिन जो इन्टरप्रेटर यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ भाइहरु डिएन ड्राइभिङ भाइहरु हुनुहुन्छ यहाँ लेखिदिनु होला भाइ तपाईहरुलाई आउँछ यो कुरा मजाले मलाई त मजाले आउँदैन यो कुरा गर्न म कोसिस गर्छु आइ एम ट्राइङ जुन सम्पत्ति चाहिँ डिड हुन्छ त्यो डिड भएको सम्पत्तिलाई चाहिँ टाइटल छ कुनै सम्पत्तिको भने त्यसलाई चाहिँ विलबाट कसैलाई दिन सकिदैन त्यसपछि अर्कै तरिकाले गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ भन्ने हुँदैछ so what is the other way out can you share that thing
Sure. So for that type of property I just mentioned titled properties with title on it for those, the ones we commonly see would be things like cars, bank accounts, retirement accounts, and your home. So for for your car, for example, you would take the title of the car to the title office or the BMV and have it made transferable on death, or most people say TOD.
तपाईको त्यस्तो खालको प्रपर्टी छ भने चाहिँ टिओडी भन्छ ट्रान्सफर अन डेथ भनेर टाइटल कम्पनीमा अथवा ब्याङ्क एकाउन्टमा गएर बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ आफ्नो मृत्यु पछाडि त्यो टाइटल सिधासिधी अर्कोमा ट्रान्सफर हुने भन्ने व्यवस्था हुन्छ त्यो खालको काम गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ भन्नुहुन्छ
Yeah, so when you go, they'll have you at the BMV. They'll have you fill out a form with the beneficiary's information, including their name and address, and then that way, in the future, when you pass away, your beneficiary can go to can take the car title again and a certified copy of your death certificate to the title office, and they'll be issued a new title.
त्यस्तो भएको खण्डमा तपाईले डेथ सर्टिफिकेट लिएर गएर टाइटल लिएर गएर चाहिँ त्यो उहाँ गइसके पछाडि तपाईको नयाँ टाइटल चाहिँ त्यहाँ आउँछ भन्ने व्यवस्था उहाँले गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ Thank you. I just want to stop you for a second here.
Yeah.
And I'll have one question from the Medicare things and I'll have Josh. Then once that is done, I think Josh can go and we can talk more about it. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Because I was waiting for a question from the thing because Josh, why should he be staying here if he doesn't have to, right?
Okay.
Hi, Josh. I'm thinking like we can finish with you, then we can talk to Miranda for a long time. So that's there are two questions for you. If we don't have insurance and get medical bill over thousands, do we get help from Medicaid?
Potentially. So when you apply for most forms of Medicaid, the benefits will be retroactive for 90 days. And so what that means is if you incurred that bill or service within 90 days of your application, then it could be covered by Medicaid for most forms of Medicaid. So if you, let's say you had services in September that racked up that $1,000 bill, and then you applied for Medicaid in October or November, then yes, it could go back in time and cover that.
सम्भवतः हुन सक्छ 3 महिनासम्मको मेडिकेडले एप्लिकेसन गरेको दिनदेखि 3 महिना अगाडिसम्मको बिल चाहिँ तिर्न सक्छ त्यस्तो खालको सम्भाव्यत हुन सक्ने सम्भावना छ भन्ने हुँदैछ उहाँले
However, if it's outside that 90-day period, then Medicaid is not going to pay old bills for you, unfortunately. It really is meant to pay bills going forward.
सम्भवत दुर्भाग्यवश 90 दिनभन्दा अगाडि 3 महिनाभन्दा अगाडिको बिल छ भने चाहिँ मेडिकेडले तिर्दैन खाली त्यहाँभन्दा अगाडिको मात्रै तिर्छ भविष्यको चाहिँ तिर्छ विगतको चाहिँ तिर्दैन भन्नुहुन्छ That's all the questions I have for you, Josh, because I don't want to keep you there for unnecessary things because we are talking about the will. So thank you for coming because these are some of the questions that I get all the time. So maybe you'll be getting quite a lot of hearing things because I get and people ask me the questions and I don't want to answer because I'm not a lawyer. And sometimes people, some of the members feel that I'm not telling them the right answer because I say that I don't know is I don't know. So I think you guys know this answer and you've been helping. And I just want to thank you for coming and helping us with these things.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
All right. Thank you. All right. Miranda, thank you for doing that because I don't want to keep Josh for a long time.
Okay, no problem.
So the other question is, I think I'll go with this question, then I'll come back to this Facebook. But there's also other question. What happened for 401k retirement after death? There's other question there.
Yes. So retirement accounts are one of those types of property that you should prepare for outside of the will. You should go to the institution holding your account and make sure that you have named beneficiaries on those accounts that will have access to those funds upon your death.
So just for my understanding, for retirement account, they have to do TO, transfer on death outside the will. Is that correct?
Yes, or yes, and sometimes they transfer on death or named beneficiaries.
Retirement सुन्नु होला है त हजुरहरूले retirement account को चाहिँ फेरि छ भने will मा गरेर हुँदैन त्यसको लागि गर्नको लागि चाहिँ ट्रान्सपरेन्ट डेथ भने पहिले बनाउँदाखेरि मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि फलानाकामा जाओस् भनेर त्यहाँ बकाइदा लेखिएको हुनुपर्छ अथवा अर्को मान्छेको नाममा बनाइएको हुनुपर्छ भन्ने हुँदैछ म तपाईको क्वेशन राख्दै जानु होला म एकछिनमा सोध्दै जान्छु थ्यांक यू सो मच so now Miranda, the other question that just come in my mind as we are talking is this will is one time done deal or it can be changed?
Yes, you can change your will at any time. If you'd like to make a few changes, we recommend that it's best to just create a new will. And in Ohio, the most recently signed dated and will that you've done voids the wills that you've done prior to that. And it's important to know that handwritten changes on your will after it's already been signed are not valid.
मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको थिएँ विल चाहिँ एकखेप लेखिसकेपछि सदा सर्वदाका लागि त्यही हुन्छ कि त्यसलाई चेन्ज गर्न पाइन्छ भन्दा चाहिँ विल चाहिँ तपाईले आफ्नो खुसीले चेन्ज गर्न पाउनुहुन्छ तर त्यहाँ एउटा कठिनाइ चाहिँ के छ भने आफूले साइन गरिसकेपछि हातले लेखेर केही तलमाथि पारेको छ भने त्यो चाहिँ परिवर्तन हुँदैन त्यसलाई चाहिँ सही मानिदैन that means if you have finished the will you have to type it print it and sign that one that only will be valid if something is written and changed that is not valid that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Thank you. So, so now the next question, which I get, that was a question to me also. What do I do with my completed will? So if I go and find an attorney, get the will and I get ready, that paper is there. So what do I do with that one?
Sure. So you should keep the original copy of your will in a safe place. Give a copy to your executor, which is the person that you've named in your will as carrying out your wishes, and make sure they know where the original copy of your will is and they can access it after you pass away.
Thank you. So तपाईले जो will बनाउनुहुन्छ will बनाइसके पछाडी ल्याएर बकाइदा ठाउँमा सेक्युर ठाउँमा राख्नु पर्यो एउटा कुरा दोस्रो कुरा जो तपाईको कार्यकारी व्यक्ति जो छान्नु भएको हुन्छ त्यो व्यक्तिलाई दिने र सही ठाउँमा त्यो will चाहिँ उले राख्नु पर्यो जस तपाईको मृत्यु पछाडी त्यसलाई प्रयोग गर्न सकोस् भन्ने कुरा उहाँले स्पष्ट पार्नु हुँदैछ. So the other question is this will important only after a death or during your lifetime also it's useful?
It's really for what happens after you pass away. So you should make sure to keep up to date with it. If there's any major changes in your life, if things like marriages, divorces, deaths in the family, you'd want to make sure to update your will in that instance. But it's only in effect after you pass away.
Yeah, thank you. I'll come back to a retirement question again. There's some questions are there, but we'll come back to that one afterwards. So now we talk about what is will, what is the benefit, and what are the funeral things and all those things. Now question comes, do you as a legal aid society help us preparing the wills?
Yes, with our grant funding, we can prepare wills for people 60 years of age and older, regardless of income. For others who might be interested in having a will done, we have a link on our website to get more information on a will, and we also have an online tool there that provides more information and allows you to create your own will if that's what you're doing. But that's specifically to Ohio and meets the legal requirements in Ohio.
Thank you. It's quite long, but मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको थिएँ तपाईहरुले हामीलाई विल बनाउन सहयोग गर्नुहुन्छ त्यस्तो दुनिया कुरा त हामीले गर्यौं दुनिया भन्नाले सबै कुरा यसको के छ कसो भन्ने कुरा गर्यौं भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यस हामी चाहिँ गर्न सक्छौं ग्रान्ट फन्डिङ उहाँहरुलाई कुनै ग्रान्टको सुविधाका आधारमा 60 वर्ष भन्दा माथिका मानिसहरुलाई त्यसको लागि चाहिँ कुनै पनि इन्कम कमाईको केही पनि चाहिएन त्यस्ता मान्छेहरुलाई हामीले ल्याएर चाहिँ विल बनाउन सहायता गर्छौं भन्नुभएको छ अर्थात उहाँहरुको वेबसाइटमा गएर हेर्नुभयो भने तपाईले आफ्नो विल आफै पनि बनाउन सक्नुहुन्छ त्यो पनि व्यवस्था उहाँहरुले गर्नु भएको छ So what is the Legal Aid Society's website?
Sure. So if you search right now we've recently gone through a name change, but you can look us up at SEOLS.org.
Okay.
And that is for our southeastern Ohio counties, and then Legal Aid Society of Columbus.org for Franklin County.
Okay. तपाईँले SEOLS.org मा गएर चाहिँ त्यहाँ हेर्नुभयो भने कसरी गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा त्यहाँ छ, त्यहाँमा जानकारी धेरै जानकारी पनि पाउन सक्नुहुन्छ. So thank you. So let me go back to a retirement question here. There are two questions. One is, so some Tika Dungana is telling TOD is not possible for a 401k, that somebody has to have a beneficiary. Can you clarify that? Is that TOD would be allowed for 401k, or that's not allowed for 401k?
So when you would have a named beneficiary, if you contact the institution holding the account and say that you want to have beneficiaries on your account, someone to receive the money after you pass away, they will provide you the paperwork to name those people and get in touch with them after you pass in the future.
Okay. And the other question is, what if I don't have another name attached to 401k and death? So if there is no name attached and a person dies, what will happen to the 401k?
Yes. So in that case, your property, your 401k, would go through probate court in order to figure out who should receive those funds.
तपाईको नाम लेख्नु भएको छैन भनेर तपाईको 401k हुँदाहुँदै तपाईको मृत्यु भएको खण्डमा चाहिँ त्यो सबै कुरा प्रोबेट कोर्टमा जान्छ र प्रोबेट कोर्टबाट अदालतले निर्णय गर्छ सम्पत्ति कसकोमा जाने भन्ने कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो, र अर्थात् 401k मा कसै न कसैमा जान्छ भन्ने व्यक्तिको नाम लेखेकै हुनु पर्यो. Alright, thank you. Now I have a question which I think may take a long time to answer. How do I make sure my kids don't have to go through probate court to get my property after I die? Let me put this question in Nepali first. Probate court मा जानुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा आयो अघि पछाडि. मैले उहाँलाई सोध्दैछु, मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि अथवा जो पनि सम्पत्तिको मालिकको मृत्यु पछाडि बालबालिका अथवा जो आफूले चाहेको व्यक्तिले मेरो सम्पत्ति पाओस् भन्नका लागि के गर्दा चाहिँ अदालत कुदिराख्नु पर्दैन, त्यो चाहिँ बाटो के हो भनेर मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको छु. उहाँको प्रश्नको उत्तर सोधौँ. Go ahead.
Sure. So I'm glad you asked this because I don't feel like I answered that question about the deed. So I think this will get there. So for those who don't know, probate is the legal process where the court is informed of everything you own at the time of your death and distributes your property based on what is in your will, if you have a valid will. And if you don't have a will, then based on Ohio law.
Okay. प्रोबेट कतिजना तपाईले जान्नु भएको छैन नि, प्रोबेट भनेपछि यस्तो खालको कानुनी व्यवस्था हो. तपाईको मृत्यु पछाडि तपाईको सही विल छ भने विलको आधारमा तपाईको सम्पत्ति जाइहाल्छ, छैन भने चाहिँ ओहायोको नियम मुताबिक, ओहायो कानुन मुताबिक तपाईको सम्पत्ति कसरी बाँडिनुपर्छ भन्ने किसिमले बाँड्ने व्यवस्था एउटा व्यवस्था हो. Okay.
So one reason a probate case might be opened after someone dies is if they owned property that isn't transferred through a will. And we mentioned these before as being cars, bank accounts, retirement accounts, and your home.
यो कुरा छ. एउटा चाहिँ कुरा के हो भने, one reason probate case would be opened up. प्रोबेट को मामला चाहिँ किन खोलिन्छ भन्दा तपाईको मृत्यु पछाडि विलमा ट्रान्सफर भएको नहुने सम्पत्ति छन् भने त्यस्तो अवस्थामा प्रोबेट केस मामला पनि सुरु हुन्छ. ओके, जस्तो कि घर, गाडी, बैंक अकाउन्टको कुरा गर्नु भए. Okay.
So if you only gift these things to your loved ones through your will without doing anything else, then that means your executor has to open a case in probate court and get a court order to transfer that property into your loved ones' names.
So can you clarify that? What is if only gift much? What do you mean by that?
So if someone just says in their will, I want my home at this address to go to my child, and they just put that in their will and they think that's enough, it's taken care of, and their child will get that property without any problem, that isn't the case. When they pass away, their child will have to get a court order to get that deed in their name.
हो यो कुरा तपाईँले बुझ्नु पर्यो है जो हेर्नुहुन्छ कृपया यसलाई सेयर गरेर तपाईँ कमेन्ट पनि लेखिदिनु होला तपाईँ सेयर गरेर नबोलिदिनु होला तपाईँ 40 जना छौँ हामी 80 जना हुन सकिन्छ हैन अब तपाईँले विल बनाउनु भयो विल बनाइसकेर विलमा लेख्नु भयो कि मेरो घर चाहिँ मेरा बालबालिकालाई जाओस् भनेर विलमा बकाइदा लेख्नु भएको छ र तपाईँले त्यही नै पूर्ण हो भनेर सोच्नु भयो भने चाहिँ त्यो फेरि अप्ठ्यारोमा पर्छ आफ्नो मृत्यु पछाडि त्यो आफ्नो सम्पत्ति नानीकामा नजान सक्ने सम्भावना छ all right the next
and for those who don't know, the probate court process can be expensive and it takes extra time and it can be quite frustrating for your loved ones. And so there are steps that we suggest you do take to make sure you pass on that your property without, that needless worry and cost to your family.
नजाने सम्भावना छ भने मैले अथवा त्यो त्यस्तो भएको खण्ड अघि भएको खण्डमा प्रोबेट कोर्टमा जान सक्छ मामला र हो त्यो प्रोबेट कोर्टमा मामला गइसकेपछि सजिलैसँग समाधान हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा होइन त्यहाँको व्यवस्था अनुसार कतिखेर चाहिँ फ्रस्ट्रेट भनेको निराश पनि हुन सकिन्छ गर्दै गर्दै जाँदाखेरि त्यो नानीहरूलाई आफ्नो सन्तानलाई पछाडि बहुत निराश पनि बनाउन सक्छ र हामी तपाईलाई कानुनी सल्लाह दिने व्यक्तिहरूले चाहिँ तपाईलाई त्यसमा नजानका लागि कुनै एउटा उपाय गर्नुहोस् भनेर हामी सल्लाह दिन्छौँ. All right, thank you. So what is the suggestion then?
Sure, yes. So we mentioned what to do with retirement accounts and your car to make sure your beneficiaries get your retirement account and there's a transfer on death on your car. So for bank accounts, you should go to the bank where your accounts are held and ask for it to be made payable on death to a person or people of your choosing.
अघि हामीले तपाईलाई भन्यौ जो चाहिँ अब आफ्नो सम्पत्ति छ त्यो सम्पत्तिमा जस्तो कार बैंक अकाउन्ट रिटायरमेन्ट इन्भेस्टमेन्ट अकाउन्ट एन्ड होम यी सबै कुराको लागि चाहिँ फर रिटायरमेन्ट एन्ड इन्भेस्टमेन्ट अकाउन्ट एन्ड अरू इन्स्योरेन्स पोलिसिस यी सबै कुराको लागि फाइनान्शियल इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट सबै कुराको लागि चाहिँ have a named beneficiary on them. तिनीहरुको लागि तपाईले कसले पाउँछ भनेर लेखेको हुनु पर्यो. अनि फेरि अब जुन चाहिँ company can provide funds to chosen beneficiary after you pass away without a court order भनेर छ. जस्तै अब यस्तो चाहिँ तपाईको बेनिफिसियरी त्यहाँ लेखेको छ भने चाहिँ कोर्टको अर्डरै बिना पनि तपाईलाई त्यो बेनिफिसियरीलाई तपाईको आफ्नो सम्पत्ति आफ्नो मृत्यु पछाडी पाउँछ भन्ने कुरा भयो. अब okay, for the bank what do you say? We will go to account. Okay, बैंकमा चाहिँ गएर तपाईले अकाउन्टमा गएर भन्नु पर्यो मेरो सम्पत्ति चाहिँ मरे पछाडी फलानाकोमा ट्रान्सफर होस्. So transfer after death to the chosen beneficiary, right?
Yes, yes. And it's important to know that just because they're your beneficiary, they don't have access to the funds in your account while you're living.
Beneficiary हो भन्दैमा फेरि उहाँहरुलाई चाहिँ तपाईको जीवित रहउन्जेलसम्म चाहिँ तपाईको सम्पत्तिमा उनीहरुसँग उनीहरुले गएर केही गर्न सक्ने अधिकार हुँदैन. त्यो कुरा पनि बुझिराख्नु पर्यो भन्नुहुन्छ. Thank you. Is there anything else you need to add here?
Well, I did want to mention real estate, if that's okay.
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for real estate, meaning your home and any land you own, if you're married or have a long-term partner living with you, you should make sure that your deed states that you both own the property with the language in survivorship, or sometimes your deed may say for their joint lives, remainder to the survivor of them. So that means when one person passes away, the other person automatically receives the entire interest in the home without going to court.
अब अर्को कुरा तपाईले ध्यान दिएर सुन्नुपर्ने जो स्पेशली भुटानी अमेरिकनहरुका लागि म यो कुरा भन्दै छु तपाईहरुलाई किनभने हामीलाई यो कुरा बहुत ज्ञान नभएको कुरा छ हामीलाई थाहा छैन यस्तो केही पनि कुरा रियल एस्टेट जस्तो तपाईको घर छ अरु कुनै पनि सम्पत्तिहरु राख्नु भएको छ जमिनहरु किन्नु भएको छ भने जस्तो कि घर भयो एनी अरु ल्यान्डको कुरा भयो अनि इफ यु आर म्यारिड तपाई विवाहित हुनुहुन्छ अथवा कोहीसँग मिलेर धेरै समयसम्म बस्नु भएको छ नि तपाईले ख्याल गर्नु पर्यो तपाईको डिडमा चाहिँ state that you both own the property तपाई दुवै जनाको संयुक्त लगानीमा यो सम्पत्ति छ अथवा त्यहाँ लेख्नु पर्यो in survivorship भन्नु पर्यो or sometimes your deed may say कोही बेला चाहिँ for their joint lives remainder to the survivor of them अथवा दुई जनाको लागि हो जो पछि मर्छ त्यसको नाममा रहने भनेर लेख्नु पर्यो That way, if you pass away before your partner, your interest home automatic. आफू तपाईँको चाहिँ साथी भन्दा एउटा न एउटा त अगाडि मसँगै त मर्दैन होला भएमा अर्को जो बाँच्ने मान्छेकोमा चाहिँ गएर बस्न सक्छ भन्ने कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो. Thank you. All right, anything else to add in this one?
Yes, if you want your children to inherit your home after you die, or anyone else that doesn't currently own the property, you should have prepared what is called a transfer on death designation affidavit.
अब यो अर्को कुरा फेरि आयो. अब हामीलाई सजिलो छ म त जान्दिनँ भन्ने धेरैजनाले भन्नुहुन्छ यो कुरा. मलाई त आउँदैन सर, मलाई जान्दिनँ, म भाइ मलाई केही छैन, मैले पढेको छैन भन्नुहुन्छ. तपाईँले यो कुरा ख्याल गर्नुहोस्, पढे पनि नपढे पनि जाने नपढे कानुन लाग्ने लागिहाल्छ. अथवा तपाईँको सम्पत्ति जो छ, घर जग्गा जमिन जो छ, त्यो घर जग्गा जमिन चाहिँ मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि मेरो छोरा नातिमा होस् भन्ने खालको तपाईँको लाग्छ भने inherit home after your death, you can have prepared that called transfer on death designation affidavit. मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि मेरो छोरा नातिमा जाओस् भन्ने एउटा एफिडेभिट तयार पारेको हुनुपर्छ. So thank you so much. So now next question is, you brought this question, transfer on death designation affidavit. What is that?
Yes, so this is usually called a TOD. It's a legal document that directly transfers the ownership of your home to the person or people that you choose, and then your loved ones do not have to go through probate court to get the title to that property.
अब यो ट्रान्सफर अन डेथ डेजिग्नेसन एफिडेभिट भनेको चाहिँ के हो भनेर मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको थिएँ. त्यसको अर्थ चाहिँ के हो भने ट्रान्सफर अधिकारी भनेको चाहिँ डेथ also called TOD, transfer on death भयो. It's a legal document that directly transfer ownership. अब त्यो चाहिँ एउटा कानुनी कागजात हो जसले चाहिँ तपाईँको घरको ओनरसिप जो हो मालिकपन के भन्छ मालिकत्व चाहिँ मान्छेले एउटा मान्छेदेखि अर्को मान्छेसँग सजिलैसँग सर्न सक्छ, जहाँ चाहिँ अदालतमा कुदेर त्यो दुनियादारीको समस्या झेलिराख्नु परेन. अथवा यो अर्थमा के हो भने प्रोबेट कोर्टमा गएर टाइटलको ट्रान्सफर गर्न लागि दुनियाँको झमेलामा झेलिराख्नु परेन भन्ने कुराको बुझाइयो. Thank you. Anything else to add here?
I think it's important to know that it also, having a TOD also means that person that you've named is receiving your property. They don't have any legal rights over the property while you're living, only after you pass away.
यो ख्याल गर्नु होला. Let me explain this little bit in a scenario that happens every single day. यो ख्याल गर्नु होला. अहिले हाम्रो समाजमा छोराछोरीले बाबुआमालाई कुटेर खेदाउने चलन बहुत छ. धेरै छोराले, धेरै छोरीले, धेरै बुहारीले बाबुआमालाई खेदाएको छ. यो अब कतिजनाले यो छोराबुहारीले सुन्दा बहुत मन दुखाउनुहुन्छ होला, भएको सुनिराखेको छ. त्यस्तो अवस्थामा के गर्ने त? बाबुआमाको घर छ भने मलाई हिजो अस्ति पनि एकजनाले सोध्नु भयो, आजभन्दा 5-7 दिन अगाडि के गर्ने, मेरो घर त छ अहिले भनेर सोध्नु भएको थियो. त्यस्तो अवस्थामा तपाईले यो गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, ट्रान्सफर अन डेथ भन्ने गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. त्यसको अर्थ चाहिँ के हो भने बाँचुन्जेलसम्म त्यो घरको अधिकार तपाईसँगै रह्यो, तपाई मरेको दिन चाहिँ त्यो घरको अधिकार छोरा नातिमा गयो. त्यतिन्जेलसम्म तपाईकोमा त्यो घर रहिरह्यो भन्ने कुरा पनि ख्याल छ. त्यो चाहिँ ट्रान्सफर अन डेथ भन्ने कागजमा चाहिँ सही गराउनु पर्छ. भइसकेपछि बाँचुन्जेलसम्म उसको कुनै पनि अधिकार रहेन, मृत्यु पछाडि त्यो नाम, त्यो सम्पत्तिको नाम उसको नाममा बनाउन पनि कुनै समस्या परेन. यो कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो. Thank you. So now, anything else to add? Otherwise, I have a scenario here.
Yeah, no, that's all I had about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I was somebody who I met a few days ago, and the person was asking me. So before I go to scenario, I have a few scenarios here. Before that, I have another scenario, which is somebody asked me this question. This person is around 62, 63, so he's turning to 65, and he's expecting to be old and getting some kind of services from the Medicaid, like, old age care or whatever kind of things. So he was asking me if I own the house and if I get the service from the Medicaid, so after my death, will Medicaid take my house because I get the services from the Medicaid? That kind of question he was asking me.
Yes. So this is called Medicaid estate recovery. And so for people who receive long-term care that is paid for by Medicaid, whether it's in a nursing home or in their own home, Medicaid will try to recoup that money spent on that care after the person passes away.
So let me ask a follow-up question, then I answer this one. So if they have this one transfer on death designation affidavit also doesn't protect, it will be, or will this be protecting the property from Medicaid?
No, unfortunately, it does not always protect the property because there is what's called a 5-year look back, which means that from the time that that person signed up for Medicaid, Medicaid will look at what you owned in those past 5 years and try to recoup the cost of your care from that property. So, because with a TOD, technically you still own that property at the time that you pass away, even though the title would transfer to your child or whomever, and Medicaid would contact them and say, there's a debt owed. And, we're looking at the value of your property in order to receive that money.
Okay. Anyway, that will be gone. So
Yeah.
if it is there. So let me explain that in my what I'm Nepali or in my the term people can understand. हजुरले ध्यान दिएर सुन्नु होला. जो हुनुहुन्छ मलाई कोही एकजना वयस्कले सोध्नु भएको थियो यस्तो अवस्थामा के गर्ने, मेरो घर मेरो नाममा छ, मेरो छोराको नाममा पारौँ भने भरि म अलिकति अशक्त भइसके छोराले मलाई साइड लगाउला, आफूसँग राखिराखौँ भने भरे मैले मेडिकेडको बेनिफिट लिएँ भने मेरो घर लान्छ अरे, त्यो अवस्थामा के गर्ने भनेर मलाई सोध्नु भएको थियो. मैले उहाँलाई त्यही क्वेसन सोधिरहेको थिएँ अहिले. मेडिकेड स्टेट रिकभरी भन्ने एउटा व्यवस्था अनुसार तपाईँको मृत्युको समयमा तपाईँको कुनै सम्पत्ति छ र जीवित रहँदाखेरि चाहिँ मेडिकेड बेनिफिट जस्तो कि भयो हेर्ने भयो, पासपोर्टको बेनिफिट भयो, होम केयरको भयो, अथवा यस्तामा बस्नु भएको छ र मेडिकेडको पैसालाई प्रयोग गरेको छ भने तपाईँको मृत्यु पछाडि तपाईँको सम्पत्तिबाट मेडिकेडले आफूलाई उसले खर्च गरेको पैसालाई अदाई गर्छ. तपाईँले यो साइन गरेको भए तापनि 5 वर्ष मृत्युको अगाडि 5 वर्षसम्म तपाईँलाई कुनै पनि सम्पत्ति तपाईँको नाममा छ भने त्यो चाहिँ मेडिकेडले लिन्छ भन्ने कुरा उहाँले जानकारी गराउनु भयो. Thank you. That was the question asked to me by an individual a few days ago.
That's a good question.
All right, thanks. Now I have a scenario. Scenario number, well, almost an hour. So we have an 25 hour and a half and 35 minutes left. Scenario 1, a client tells me she wants to put her home in her adult son's name now, so he does not have to do this through probate court after she dies.
Yes. So, so a client came to me and asked me about this. I would say that a better option that she should consider is doing a TOD. Because if she transfers that property to her son's name now during her life, she's giving him legal rights over the property right now.
Similar to my earlier question, right?
Yeah.
मैले मलाई सोधेको थिएँ एउटा कोही व्यक्ति आयो, त्यो व्यक्तिले आएर चाहिँ अब मेरो सम्पत्ति जो छ, मेरो सम्पत्ति मेरो छोराको नाममा पठाइदिनु पर्यो, अरे मरिसकेपछि त्यो दिगदारी गर्नुभन्दा त्यस्तो गर्दा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्ने पछाडि त्यस्तो गर्नुभन्दा त्यो असल चाहिँ मृत्यु पछाडि मेरो सम्पत्ति मेरो छोराकामा जाओस् भन्नु चाहिँ असल हुन जान्छ. कारण त्यस्तो के भने अहिले जीवितै रहँदा दियो भने तपाईको सम्पत्तिको मालिकाना अधिकार चाहिँ छोरासँग हुन्छ र उले जे पनि गर्न सक्छ, छोरीसँग अथवा आफूले जो चाहेको मान्छेसँग हुन्छ, उले जे पनि गर्न सक्छ भनेर उहाँले जानकारी गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ. So why I understood, but for other folks to understand, why TOD is a better option than transferring now?
So if you transfer now and you give that other person rights over the property, that means they can do what they want with it. Any changes they want to the property, they can make. They can take out a loan on the property. They can even sell it. And so a transfer on death, at least you keep the rights to the property. You keep control over your property during your lifetime.
Yeah, thank you. अहिले तपाईको सम्पत्तिको मालिकाना अधिकार चाहिँ छोरा नातिमा नलाउनु होला. नलाको उत्तम, नलाउनु भनेको हैन, फेरि लाउनु तपाईको खुसी हो. नलाको उत्तम कारण चाहिँ किनभने अहिले त्यो छोरा नातिको नाममा पारिहालियो भने चाहिँ उल्ले तपाईको सम्पत्ति बेच्न पनि सक्छ, त्यो घरमा त्यसकोमा लोन पनि निकाल्न सक्छ, रदलबदल पनि गर्न सक्छ. तर आफ्ना छोरा नातिमा मेरो सम्पत्ति जाओस् भन्ने तपाईको मन छ भने चाहिँ उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ मृत्यु पछाडि उसकोमा जाओस् भनिसके पछाडि तपाईँको मृत्यु पछाडि उसकोमा जान्छ, त्यस पछाडि उसले जे गर्छ उसको खुसी हुन्छ, तर अहिले चाहिँ नगरेको उत्तम हुन्छ भनेर उहाँलाई सल्लाह दिनुहुँदैछ। So next scenario, a client tell me her brother died leaving his bank accounts in his will, but his bank won't give her access to his accounts. Let me explain this in Nepali. म कोही व्यक्तिले मलाई भन्नुभयो मेरो tells me brother died living, मेरो दाजुको मृत्यु भयो, भाइको मृत्यु भयो, उहाँको ब्याङ्कको अकाउन्ट चाहिँ मेरो विलमा चाहिँ सारिदिएको छ, तर ब्याङ्कले अझै पनि एक्सेस दिँदैन त, यस्तो खण्डमा के गर्ने भन्नुभयो। Alright.
Sure. So like we mentioned before, ownership of bank accounts is not transferred by a will. So what that means is if this client's brother came to me before he passed away, I would have said that he should go to his bank and make sure his accounts are made payable on death to his sister. Because he didn't, she now has to file a case in probate court to get a court order to take with her to the bank to have access to that money.
अब अर्को कुरा ख्याल गर्नु होला, कोही व्यक्तिको मृत्यु भयो, उनले विल पनि बनाएको छ र उनले भन्दैछन् या मैले भने अनुसार मृत्यु पछाडि विलमा मेरो ब्याङ्कमा भएको सबै पैसा सबै सम्पत्ति चाहिँ मेरो बहिनीलाई मेरो भाइलाई जाओस् भनेर लेखिएको छ, लेखिसके पछाडि पनि त्यो सम्पत्ति चाहिँ मृत्यु भयो, मृत्यु पछाडि ब्याङ्कमा जाँदा ब्याङ्कले फेरि मलाई एक्सेस दिँदैन, त्यस्तो खण्डमा के गर्ने त भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ विलमा ब्याङ्क अकाउन्ट ट्रान्सफर हुँदैन, त्यस्तो खण्डमा चाहिँ ब्याङ्कमा पहिले गएर ट्रान्सफर अन डेथ मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि फलानाकोमा जाओस् भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ जीवितै हुँदा आफूले गरेको हुनुपर्छ भनेर लेखेको हुनुपर्छ भन्नुभयो। Thank you. Now, anything else to add in this one?
No, I don't think so.
Thank you. So I have a long scenario, next one. Let me read out and explain in Nepali. A client tells me that for past 10 years, he's been living in a house owned by his father. His father passed away a month ago and did not have a will. The client tells me he found out his father signed a TOD a year before he passed away that gives his father's wife, the client's stepmother, the home. Now, the stepmother wants the client to move out of the property, but the client says he believes his father would have wanted him to inherit and continue living in the home. And since he is his father's only child, he should be the one to inherit the property. So let me explain this in Nepali, which is very real scenario in our community. So I'll tell in Nepali. जो हेर्नु हुँदैछ तपाईले कृपया यसलाई अन्तिमसम्म हेर्नु होला, तपाईको टिप्पणी राख्नु होला, शेयर गर्न नभुल्नु होला, लाइक गर्न नभुल्नु होला, फलो गर्न नभुल्नु होला, यो कुरा पनि म भन्दै जाँदै छु। यहाँको सिनेरियो यस्तो बनाएको छ, दुई बुवा बाबा सानियामा र छोरा एउटा घरमा बस्थे र हाम्रो बुझाइ अनुसार हाम्रो घर सम्पत्ति छोराका नाममा जान्छ भन्ने हाम्रो बुझाइ छ। त्यसकै आधारमा घरमा बस्दै गर्दा बुवाको मृत्यु भयो। बुवाको मृत्यु पछाडि छोराले सम्झिदै थिए, छोराले यो घर त मेरो बाउको सम्पत्ति मेरै अधिकार त हो नि भन्ने हाम्रो भनाइ अनुसार लिडर ढिपी अनुसार बाबु घरमा बस्दै बस्दै कागज पत्र भेटियो, बाबुले चाहिँ 1 वर्ष अगाडि मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि यो घर चाहिँ मेरो कान्छी श्रीमतीकोमा हुन्छ भन्ने लेखेको कागज भेटियो, तर छोराले भन्छन् मेरो बाउको सम्पत्ति मसँग हुनुपर्छ। यस्तो अवस्थामा के गर्ने भन्ने प्रश्न मैले उहाँलाई तयार पारेर सोधेको छु। Alright, can you answer this question now? Very long though.
Yeah, so unfortunately this happens often. People think that because they're the person's blood relative, a lot of times their child, that they have more rights over property or the home than, you know, a person who only recently married their parent. But again, this is not passed by a will. This would be passed through the transfer on death document. So if I would tell this client, if his dad was of sound mind and signed the TOD of his own free will, this shows his intent that his wife inherit all rights to the property. And it does, unfortunately, it doesn't matter that this client is the child, because the ownership was legally transferred and she can do what she wants with that property, including, you know, evict him through the legal process.
अब यहाँ यसको जवाब पनि सुन्नु होला। यस्तो भएको खण्डमा जहाँ चाहिँ छोराले मेरो बाउको पैसा त हो नि भन्ने हाम्रो जुन गाउँघरमा चलन छ नि, यो चलन अनुसार यो घर त मेरै त हो नि भनेर भनेको खण्डमा दुर्भाग्यवश कागजमा चाहिँ ट्रान्सपरेन्ट मेरो मृत्यु पछाडि यो घरको मालिकाना अधिकार चाहिँ श्रीमतीकामा जाओस् भनेर बाबाले लेख्नु भएको छ भने छोराले जति नै कराए पनि जे नै गरे तापनि त्यो सम्पत्तिको मालिकाना अधिकार उहाँको त्यो जो बुवाको श्रीमतीसँग रहन्छ। जस्तो श्रीमती छ उसको कान्छी आमा त्यो घरको मालिकाना हुन सक्छिन् र त्यस्तो अवस्थामा छोरालाई कानुनलाई प्रयोग गरेर त्यो घरलाई घरबाट बाहिर निकाल्न पनि सक्छिन्। छोराको कुनै पनि दाल गल्नेवाला छैन भन्ने कुरा उहाँले जताउनु भयो। र साथीहरू जो हेर्नु हुँदैछ तपाईँले कृपया केही कमेन्ट क्वेसन छ भने लेखिदिनु होला। तपाईँको क्वेसन आयो भने अरूलाई पनि सहायता पर्छ, तपाईँलाई धेरै जाने त भए पनि र लेखिदिनु होला है त। हजुरलाई म सहायता माग्छु किन तपाईँले र हामी दुईजनाले मिलेर काम गऱ्यो भने धेरैलाई सहायता पुग्छ। Now, I'm asking everyone to write any questions if they have so that we can answer their questions. So now next, what are the important documents should I have to plan ahead?
So other important documents you might want are those that state important decisions that you might be unable to make yourself in the future, and also what your wishes are for your end of life care.
Okay. What do you mean by state? Can you repeat that answer? I was right.
Yes, sure. I'm sorry. So the other documents that you should consider having are those that say whom you want to make important decisions for you if you're unable to do that yourself, and also that state what you want for your end of life care.
अर्को कुरा हामीले साह्रै ख्याल गर्नुपर्ने कुरा विशेष गरेर वृद्ध हुन त वृद्ध मात्रैलाई 18 पर्छ भन्ने कुरा होइन, र पनि त्यस्तो धेरै देखेको हुँदा तपाईको आफूले केही गर्न नसकेको खण्डमा मेरो बारेमा कसले बोल्दिने भन्ने कुराको बारेमा नि आफूले निर्णय गरेर डकुमेन्ट बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ। र अन्तिममा जीवनको मृत्यु हुने बेलामा कसले मेरो केयर गर्ने भन्ने कुराको पनि कागजपत्र बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ। Okay.
So we say that these documents are important because even though people don't like to talk about this and what could happen in the future, it should be something that gives you peace of mind and saves your family a lot of stress in the future by having these legal documents that say what you want if you're unable to communicate that yourself.
हुन त यो कुरा सबैलाई कुरा गर्न पनि मन नलाग्ला, गफ गर्न पनि मन लाग्ला, तर यस्तो खालको कागजपत्र तयार पारिएको छ भने आफूलाई साह्रो परेको होला, अप्ठ्यारो परेको होला, ती कुराहरुमा आफ्नो छोरा नातिलाई पनि सजिलो पर्छ र आफूलाई पनि आफूलाई गाह्रो परेको निर्णय गर्न सजिलो पर्ने हुन्छ। Thank you. Yeah.
So these documents are besides a will, a financial power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, and a living will.
अब यी डकुमेन्ट चाहिँ के हुन् त भन्दाखेरि यस्ता खालका डकुमेन्ट भनेको चाहिँ फाइनान्शियल पावर अफ एटर्नी, हेल्थ केयर पावर अफ एटर्नी एन्ड लिभिङ विल, यस्ता खालका डकुमेन्ट्स गर्नु पर्यो। Now you brought the next question, what is financial power of attorney? Now because you brought that one, I need to.
Yes. So this is a legal document that allows you to choose a person whom you trust to make financial decisions for you if you're unable to do this yourself. And this can include things like having them pay your bills and taking care of your everyday banking matters.
Thank you. मैले उहाँलाई what is financial power of attorney उहाँले त्यो कागजपत्र बनाउनु पर्छ भनेको थिएँ भनेर मैले सोध्दाखेरि financial power of attorney भनेको चाहिँ तपाईको मृत्यु पछाडी तपाई मृत्यु हुने बेलामा साह्रो परेको बेलामा तपाईको आर्थिक कारोबारको सम्बन्धमा कसले चाहिँ तपाईको निर्णय गर्दिने त भन्ने एउटा कागजपत्र जो हुन्छ त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीले फाइनान्शियल पावर अफ एटर्नी भन्छौं। Financial power at sign in front of how does that documents made?
Sure. Yes. So we can provide those services for, again, with our grants, we can do that for people ages 60 and older. But you can also find online on our website a link that has a fill in the blank form that should be accepted everywhere that you can fill in, sign in front of a notary. And then you should keep the original in a safe place and give copies to your bank and, of course, the person you're choosing to have your power of attorney.
त्यस्तो सुन्नुहोस् है, यो कुरा ख्याल गर्नु पर्यो। तपाईको वेबसाइट हो seols.org। त्यो वेबसाइटमा गएर चाहिँ तपाईले त्यहाँ हेर्नु होला, त्यो कागजपत्र बनाउनु होला, अनि नोटरी पब्लिक नोटरीको अगाडि गएर साइन गर्नु होला। त्यो साइन गरिसके पछाडी ब्याङ्कमा दिने अनि अर्को कार्यकारी जो छ त्यो कार्यबारे बेनिफिट कसलाई होस् भने उसको व्यक्तिमा दिने र राखेर त्यो आफ्नो चाहिँ एउटा ओरिजिनल कपी चाहिँ सुरक्षित राखियो भने त्यसले भविष्यमा साह्रो परेको काम गर्छ भन्नुभयो थ्याङ्क यू वाट इज फाइनेन्सियल पावर अफ एटर्नी इन effect?
So it's
When?
in effect. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. So it's in effect from the time that you sign the document in front of the notary public. And that's why it's important that you name somebody you trust completely, not to misuse your funds, but act as you would with your own money.
यो कुरा नि ख्याल गर्नु पर्यो कसैलाई फाइनेन्सियल पावर एटर्नी दिइसकेको छ भने तपाईँको पैसाको एक्सेस अर्कालाई हुन्छ जो मान्छेसँग तपाईँ भित्रबाट विश्वास गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईँले अप्ठ्यारो परेको खण्डमा उसले चाहिँ तपाईँको सही तरिकाले काम गर्छ भने त्यस्तो व्यक्तिलाई मात्रै तपाईँले त्यो गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यो अधिकार दिनुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यो कुन दिनदेखि प्रयोग हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि जुन दिन नोटरीको अगाडि गएर तपाईँले साइन गर्नु त्यही दिनदेखि चाहिँ त्यो त्यसको इफेक्ट हुन्छ त्यसको प्रयोग हुन सुरु गर्छ Alright, then now the next question is what is healthcare power of attorney?
So this is a document that allows you to choose a person whom you trust to make medical decisions for you if you can't do that yourself. And this means they can do things like see your medical records, choose a treatment for you if you can't communicate, and talk to your doctor if you're unable to do that yourself.
मेडिकल पावर अफ एटर्नी भनेको चाहिँ तपाईँको हेल्थ केयर सम्बन्धी तपाईँको स्वास्थ्य सम्बन्धी तपाईँको हेरचाह सम्बन्धी भनौँ न यसका लागि चाहिँ कुरा गर्न सक्ने अधिकार कोही व्यक्तिलाई दिएको जो चाहिँ आफूले गर्न नसकेको अवस्थामा दिस गिभ्स द अथोरिटी टु मेक हेल्थ रेकर्ड चुज ट्रिटमेन्ट अनि डक्टरसँग गफ गर्ने इत्यादि कुराहरूसँग चाहिँ यो डकुमेन्टले उहाँहरूलाई सहायता गर्न सक्छ Alright, again the same question, when is the healthcare power of attorney in effect?
So this is only in effect when you can't make decisions for yourself, not as soon as you sign it. So it's only in effect when you're unable to understand or communicate yourself. And this does not have to be signed in front of a notary, unlike the financial document. It can be signed in front of two witnesses who are not named as your powers of attorney.
यो यसको अर्को कुरा छ फेरि हेल्थ केयर पावर अफ एटर्नी भनेको चाहिँ नोटरी पब्लिक नोटरीको अगाडि गएर साइन राख्नु परेन तपाईले कोही दुईजना मान्छेको अगाडि बसेर साइन गर्दा हुन्छ तपाईले जुन दिन तपाईको क्षमता हराउँछ त्यस दिनदेखि मात्रै यसले काम गर्न थाल्छ आफ्नो क्षमता हुन्छ त्यसको बारेमा निर्णय गर्न आफै सकिन्छ So now I have one question here which I would like you to see. Vidyapati Mishra is telling property transfer comes with a tax liability. It is crucial to understand. Can you explain what is that?
Yes. So that person would be talking about when the person who's receiving the property, what kind of tax they would have on that. Now, there isn't an inheritance tax anymore in Ohio. But if you have specific, I can't give legal advice. So if you have specific questions about your tax situation, I encourage you to give us a call and speak directly, with an attorney to get advice that's specific to your situation.
Thank you. त्यसो कुनै स्पेसिफिक क्वेशन छ भने हजुरले कृपया कल गर्नुलाई नम्बरमा त्यस पछाडी उहाँबाट निर्णय गरेर जानुहुन्छ. So to whom I give the copies of my completed healthcare power of attorney?
Sure. So you should keep the original in a safe place and give copies to the person you've chosen as your power of attorney and all your doctors.
यो कुरा सबैलाई ख्याल गर्नु पर्यो बहुत महत्त्वपूर्ण कुरा हेल्थ केयर पावर अफ एटर्नी जो हाम्रो धेरै जना बुवाआमाहरुको नभएको पनि देखिएको छ र अप्ठ्यारो परेको पनि देखिएको छ त्यो हेल्थ केयर पावर अफ एटर्नी चाहिँ तपाईले आफूले राख्नु पर्यो कसैलाई दिनु पर्यो विशेष गरेर डाक्टरलाई चाहिँ यो कुरा देखाएको हुनु पर्यो यो हामीले धेरै जान्नु पर्ने कुरा थ्यांक यू सो should keep the original in safe place give copies chosen power of attorney and doctor is so important because I see this issue comes very often in the community. So I'm stressing that to that you must give it to the doctors. Can I change my power of attorney documents? If so, how?
Yes, you can change your financial and healthcare power of attorney documents at any time if you change your mind about anything in there, or if there's a change in your situation. And you should do this by writing a statement saying that you're canceling your power of attorney that you've given this specific person, and make sure you give them out to all the people, your banks, the hospitals, anyone you gave copies to, including your power of attorney.
यो ख्याल गर्नु होला तपाईले पावर अफ एटर्नी बनाउनु भयो बनाइसकेपछि ढुङ्गाको अक्षर हुँदैन तपाईको समय अनुसार जति बेला पनि चेन्ज गर्न सकिन्छ यति नै कुरा हो जहाँ बनाइसकेपछि आफूले स्टेटमेन्ट बनाएर दिनु पर्यो you can change power at any time अनि आफूले पनि you should do this by writing एउटा स्टेटमेन्ट लेखेर चाहिँ बताइसकेपछि तपाईको पावर अफ एटर्नी जो पहिले दिएको थियो त्यो अधिकार फेरि वापस लिन सकिन्छ you can then destroy. Okay. Then what happened next?
Yes. So then you should, if you have the original and if you get the copies that your doctors or banks had, you should get rid of those or ask them to destroy them. And you can just draft up new power of attorney documents and you give them out to the same people. And that would be valid.
Okay. त्यस्तो भएको खण्डमा आफ्नो पुरानो पावर अफ एटर्नी त्यसलाई डिस्ट्रोय गरिदिने अनि अथवा नयाँ बनाउनु छ भने गर्ने नयाँ चाहिँ त्यहाँबाट भ्यालिड हुन्छ So this applies for all the power of attorney, financial power of attorney, medical power of attorney, and what is the other one you're talking about? Healthcare, all three, it affects all three, it's the same rule, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So there's one, Deepak Sotal Rajesh has one question here. If both of their parents died and they have two underage kids of their name, don't have attached to the property, what the kids should do?
Sorry, was it they have two underage kids and their name didn't attach on the property? Yes. So in that case, if the parents died, that first off would go through probate court because the court would have to figure out who gets that property. And since the next closest kin would be children, most likely that would also go through juvenile court. So it would be a long process in order to ensure that those children receive that property at some point in time.
Thank you. त्यस्तो भएर प्रोबेट कोर्टमा इन्भल्भ हुन्छ त्यहाँदेखि अगाडि अर्को पनि सम हुन्छ भन्नुहुँदैछ सो आई हेभ अदर क्वेसन so like a will is used after the death most of the time. So next question is, are power of attorney documents still effect after I die, after the death of a person?
Yes. So this is different than the will. As your power of attorney documents expire upon your death. They are no longer valid. So that means the person who has your power of attorney, they cannot act on your behalf after you've passed away.
Okay. Thank you. There's a Santi Misra is ask my question. I don't know, he has many questions. This one, whom do I need to talk about all these topics we discussed today in other states and make community people aware of these situations? I don't think we can answer this question here, right?
I would say, reach out to the legal aid in your state and talk to them, and they would probably at least be able to refer you to the right person or organization. Because yes, you're right. It's based on state law.
Thank you. Santi Misra ji, तपाईको यही क्वेशन हो कि अर्को हो भने मलाई पठाउनु होला फेरि मैले सरी बोल्दिए होला. So okay. So now we talk about the will. Now, can you talk what is a living will? There are different kind of wills, right?
Yes. Living will is different than a will. This is a legal document that says what your wishes are about your end of life care. And this is important because it tells your doctors and your loved ones what you would want in the event you become terminally ill or permanently unconscious.
So, okay. So will and living will, these are two different documents.
Yes, they are two different documents, very different.
Okay. So if there's a living in front of a will, then it's a different sign. So living will भनेको चाहिँ document हो ख्याल गर्नु होला है त will भनेको अर्कै कथा गर्यौं हामीले will भनेको चाहिँ document हो legal document that says what your wishes about end of the मृत्यु हुनुको छेउछाउमा पुगिसके पछाडी कस्तो खालको तपाईलाई जीवनमा समस्या अब यसन भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ गर्नका लागि चाहिँ लिभिङ विल भनिन्छ त्यति बेला डाक्टरलाई भन्ने क्यान इम्पोर्टेन्ट बिकज टेल्स अ डाक्टर एन्ड लभड वान्स हु वान्ट मृत्यु हुने बेलामा डाक्टरलाई अनि आफ्नो घरका परिवारलाई के कसो गर्ने भन्ने विषयमा गफ गरिने हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ गफ गर्ने डकुमेन्टलाई चाहिँ लिभिङ विल भनिन्छ हाउ इज अ लिभिङ विल डिफरेन्ट फ्रम अ विल सो बेसिकली क्यान यु जस्ट टेल इन अ शॉर्ट बिकज आई एम काइन्ड अफ confused now.
Sure. Yes. So, yes, it is confusing because people often think a living will is just another name for a will, but it's very different. A will concerns what happens to your property after you die, who receives that. A living will is just about your end of life medical care that you want.
Thank you. अब यो कुरा चाहिँ सबैजनाले बुझौँ है त के चाहिँ बुझौँ भने दुईटा कुरा बुझौँ एउटा कुरा चाहिँ म जान्दिनँ भनेर हुँदैन यहाँनिर जान्नै पर्छ समस्या परिसके समस्या परिहाल्छ त्यस कारणले अन्तिमसम्म हेर्नु होला दोस्रो कुरा विल र लिभिङ विल को भिन्नता चाहिँ विल मात्रै भन्ने भने मृत्यु पछाडि आफ्नो सम्पत्ति कति सम्पत्ति आफूलाई चाहेको व्यक्तिलाई दिनका लागि गर्ने व्यवस्थालाई लिभिङ विल भनिन्छ भने लिभिङ विल भनेको चाहिँ आफ्नो जीवनको अन्तिमतिर चाहिँ कस्ता कस्ता कुरा आफूलाई गर्ने डाक्टरले के कुरा बुझ्ने भन्ने विषयमा कुरा गर्ने व्यवस्थालाई चाहिँ लिभिङ विल भनिन्छ So second last question and I will take some question from the Facebook as well. How is the living will different from a home healthcare power of attorney? How is a living will? Now I'm adding a living in front of a
Yes.
will.
So a living will is in use only in those limited end of life situations and about the care you want at that time. So meaning it can include whether you want life support technology to delay your death, whether you want artificial nutrition and hydration, if you're permanently unconscious, and whether you want standard medical care at that time, such as pain medicine.
So that is a living will, right?
Will, yes.
लिभिङ विल भनेको चाहिँ तपाईको जीवनको अन्तिमतिर अनकन्सियस हुनुभयो अथवा आफू विचेत हुनुभयो त्यस्तो खण्डमा भुँडीमा चिरेर खाना खाउने नखाउने I think it also depends CPR and those kind CPR गर्ने नगर्ने कुनै अन्त्यमा सर्जरी गर्नु त्यो गर्ने नगर्ने भने यस्ता विषयको एड्रेस गर्नका लागि गर्ने डकुमेन्टलाई चाहिँ लिभिङ विल भनिन्छ So what is healthcare power of attorney then?
So healthcare power of attorney is all those other situations where you aren't able to communicate or understand. Maybe you're going to have a procedure or something like that. In that instance, it's not about whether you want life support and you're unable to eat and drink on your own. It's just more about what you need in that moment because you can't express that yourself.
Okay, अनि हेल्थकेयर पावर अफ एटर्नी त्यो एउटा क्षणमा मृत्यु हुने बेला एउटा क्षणमा तपाईले कतिवटा निर्णय गर्न नसकेको अवस्थामा निर्णय गर्न सहायता दिने त्यो टाइमका लागि सहायता गर्ने व्यवस्थालाई चाहिँ हेल्थकेयर पावर अफ एटर्नी भनिन्छ Okay, final question on the list. Then I have 4 or 5 on the Facebook. Can you help in preparing these advanced planning documents? I mean, legal aid.
Yes, so we can help prepare these advanced planning documents for older adults, people ages 60 years of age and older, regardless of income. And for others, as I mentioned, we have an online tool that allows you to read more about these forms and download fill in the blank forms to complete yourself.
अब मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको थिएँ यसको लागि सहायता गर्न सक्छ भन्दाखेरि 60 वर्षभन्दा माथिका मान्छेहरूलाई हामी गर्न सक्छौँ अरु मान्छेले तपाईले आफूले वेबसाइटमा जानु होला फिल इन द ब्ल्याङ्क फर्म त्यहाँ छ फर्म खोज्नु होला र फर्म खोजेर त्यसको लागि आफूले आफै गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ So now we have 7 more minutes. So I have a few questions here that I would like to ask you. Can the same person okay, let me pull this question here. So Deanne Regmi is asking, can same person be someone's financial power of attorney as well as healthcare power of attorney?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. उहाँले सोध्नु भएको छ फाइनान्शियल पावर अफ एटर्नी र हेल्थकेयर पावर अफ एटर्नी एउटै व्यक्ति हुन सक्छ भन्दा उहाँले उत्तरमा यस भन्नुभयो अर्को now here let me see this question. Can we make a will? You can read this question.
Yes. Can we make a will with a notary and keep it at home for any purpose? Oh, yes. So you can put this in your will if you want, but it would not be legally in effect unless it went through court and you got a court order. So for property like your real estate, your home, and your bank accounts, and your retirement accounts, and your cars, you should take action outside of the will in order for that to transfer upon death to your loved one without them going to court.
Okay, thank you. And now, Lex, if your property is on the name of your wife, will do it auto generate to her husband or children after the death without any power of attorney?
So if I'm understanding this correctly, if we're talking about property like a home or a car, again, no, it means that your wife, when she inherits that property, she would have to take steps to make sure that that property goes to her children soon upon her passing. Of course, if not, that doesn't mean her children can't get that car. It just means that they would have to go to court in order to do that.
All right. Thank you. If not, I think we have almost all the questions have been answered. Let me see up. What is joint tenant with the right of survivorship? Like Tika Dongana is telling this one, joint tenant right of survivorship. What is this? Can you tell us?
Yes. So that means that if two people own the property and they are named on the deed as being joint tenants with rights of survivorship, that means they have an equal right to the property. And if one of them passes away before the other, that person's interest in the property automatically goes to that second living person on the deed.
Thank you. So there's other question here. What happens if both the parents become disabled and incapable of taking care of their kids? Won't the will help to handle their kids to the guardian mentioned in the will, or the properties be handled by executor? Let me explain this in Nepali. I think this is important. अब दुईजनै बुवामा नै डिसेबल अथवा अपाङ्गता भयो अथवा कुनै काम गर्न सक्नु भएन भने ती नानीहरूलाई के हुन्छ? विलले त्यो नानीहरूको लागि गार्जियनसिप गर्न केही लेखेको छ भने त्यसले सहायता गर्छ भन्छ वन्ट द विल हेल्प handle their kids to guardianship mentioned in the will, or property be handled by executor? अथवा कि कार्यकारीले सम्पत्तिलाई चाहिँ लाने निर्णय गर्ने भन्ने प्रश्न सोधेको छ. Can you answer that now?
Yes. So you can name, or I should say, nominate someone to be a guardian for your children should something happen to you, and that can be your executor, but your will would still have to go through probate court, and the court would still decide what would happen. But it's good, at least you've made your wishes known, that this is who you want to take care of your children upon your death.
अब दुईजना बुवा आमाको मृत्यु भएको खण्डमा दुईजनाकै भएको भन्दा नानीहरूलाई के गर्ने भन्दा विलमा लेखिएको छ भने ठिक छ त आफ्नो विश त लेखिएको हुन्छ, तर त्यसो भएको खण्डमा अदालतमा पुग्नै पर्छ, अदालतले तपाईको निर्णय आफूले गर्छन् भन्ने कुरा गर्नुभयो. Can a family, let's see this one. Can a family member claim their family property if the will owner assign a different beneficiary than the same family? I think we discussed this one, right?
Yes, we did. So yes, this does happen a lot. If you have concerns like this, I encourage you to contact us and see if we can give you some direct legal advice on that.
All right. I think we have one more comment here to take this. Okay, I think I have one more here. Let me give me a second. Then that's the last thing.
Okay.
I think that's all. Let me just pull up if there's anything. Is the will important? Okay, here's another question. Is this will important while we are living or just after death?
So yeah, it's important to create and make sure you update with changes, but it is only in effect after you pass away.
Okay. So last question, this one. Then we'll be my question is this will be also donating organs after death?
Yes. So actually, when you go to the BMV, they have a form that says if you want to be an organ donor, that you can complete and give to them.
All right. With that, thank you for coming today and spending almost 2 hours.
No problem. I just want to mention one thing. We
Okay.
we serve 36 counties. So while our central office is in Franklin County, we have several offices in southeastern Ohio. So if you are outside of Franklin County, please still give us a call if you have any issues and would like to speak to an attorney.
थ्याङ्क यू म तपाईँलाई सबैलाई भन्छु उहाँहरू 36 वटा काउन्टी ओहायोकोमा सर्भ गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईँलाई केही प्रश्न भएमा कुरा गर्नुहोला र जो हेर्नु हुँदैछ हेर्ने सबै इष्टमित्रलाई मेरो बिन्ती यसलाई कृपया सेयर गरिदिनु होला र तपाईँले सेयर गरेर यसलाई बाँड्नमा सहयोग गरिदिनु होला कारण चाहिँ किनभने तपाईँले सेयर गरिदिनु भने अरूकोमा पुग्छ यो समस्या गाउँघरमा मैले जतिजनालाई भेट्छु सबैलाई त नभनौँ धेरैजनालाई मैले भेट्दा होइन भाइ मैले पढेकै छैन म जान्दिनँ मलाई बाउले त एक झपट नहानेको मलाई यसो गर्नु पर्यो छोराले त नहानेको भन्नुहुन्छ तर यो भिडियोहरू हेरेर सेयर गर्छु भन्दा बरु होइन कथा पो सुन्न थालेँ मलाई कथा कस्तो भयो मलाई त लागु हुँदो रहेछ भाइ मैले तपाईँको हेर्दै थिएँ भन्नुहुन्छ कतिजनाले मिटिङ बोलाउँदा आउनुहुन्न तपाईँहरूलाई मेरो भनाइ चाहिँ कतिजना आउनुहुन्छ फेरि आउनेलाई धन्यवाद जसले हेर्नुहुन्छ हेर्न धन्यवाद तर जान्दिन भने चाहिँ मैले जानिन भन्ने यो देशमा हुँदैन कि तपाईले जानिन मलाई थाहा छैन भन्न पाइदैन यहाँनेरि तपाईलाई कानुन लागेरै छोड्छ सो यसलाई हेर्नु होला मनन गर्नु होला चिन्तन गर्नु होला तपाईका के क्वेशन छन् भने राख्नु होला हामी पछाडी पनि उहाँहरुलाई प्रश्नलाई म फेरि उहाँ लिगल एडसँग सोधेर यसको बारेमा केही कुरा गर्न म उहाँहरुलाई गर्न चाहन्छु र फेरि पनि कुनै टपिकमा तपाईलाई कुरा गर्न मन लागेको छ भने भन्नु होला म यस्ता व्यक्तित्वहरु ल्याएर फेरि क्वेशनहरु गर्नेछु. So, Miranda, what I'm telling is like in what I learned in this country, what I'm sharing with my viewers is in this country, in my at least experience of like last 15, 20 years, there's no choice that I don't know. Whether you know or you don't know, the law will be implemented on you. So the only option that is available in front of you, at least in my experience, is that you got to learn. That there's no option. Like if you say I don't know, then they will implement the law much more than what you know. So I'm asking that make sure you watch, see, understand, and learn, and make you know what are your rights, so that you can use those knowledge for your benefit in the future whenever it comes to you.
Yes, yes, wonderful. I'm so glad you had this, and I thank everyone watching, and I hope this was helpful.
All right. Thank you so much. And many questions, if you have that, I think you can also answer through Legal Aid, going through the Facebook also. Because there are some questions we could not answer, almost 2 hours at 10 o'clock. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Namaste.